Hey there, Sugahbee. Thanks for popping into my channel. I really appreciate it. If you'd like, I'd love to hear your comments during the reading, and I'll make sure to respond back to you. Thanks so very much. Well, today I'm using a very different tarot deck, the Antique Anatomy Tarot. It is gorgeous, by Claire Goodchild. And it really is fascinating because it's the anatomy of the body. So I feel like the cards are really saying, let's get to the nuts and bolts or the bare bones about the matter. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The card that I have would reflect all of last week. And this would be the Wheel of Fortune. However, this card shows reversed. So last week it may have been where we needed to have made a decision and did not have all the moving parts to make the decision well, or we could have found ourselves making the wrong decision. And that happens too. Sometimes we don't have all of the information and we are anxious and impatient, and so therefore we don't get enough of the information to make a true assessment as to whether or not we need to move forward with something or keep doing something. And so last week's energy was definitely like that. It kind of had us in this little teeter-totter, whether to move forward or not, and whether to make certain choices. This week we may look at the choices that we made last week and go, oh man, I'm not sure if I should have made that choice, right? It's okay because everything happens for a reason. It's in its divine course and they're all learning lessons. So here, the card present would be the Empress. So, and you see all that vine around the bones. And vine is really interesting. It can be, it can be detrimental to a tree because it literally suffocates the tree, or it could be something that binds a structure so that the structure doesn't fall. Sometimes we see vine on building structures, and it's actually creating a wonderful resistance so that that building structure has this like net around it. But at the same time, this particular same vine, if it was around a tree, could actually suffocate the tree and kill the tree. So we want to be careful with some of the ideas and choices and activities that we participate in, to see how well that that we get to thrive in doing those things, right? And here, if you notice, we're looking at the lungs in this card. So this is about here having the stability to literally have the right, the passion, the life to breathe your ideas and your thoughts into fruition, right? So that would be that you'd have to be feeling well, and you'd have to learn how to not be caught up in thoughts that aren't serving your best interests, or not be caught up in ideas or negativity, or not caught up in what appears to be helpful but might not be helpful, right? We really need to look at that and see who or what offers us advice, because last week we were talking about choices. So what advice are we gaining, and does it benefit us? How does it benefit us? And this is something that I work on, learning how to cut negative conversation from my mind, so that I can move forward in having more prosperous ideas. And so how do I get there, or how does any of us get there? Well, the third card is really our opportunity card, and that's the Hermit. Notice there. So here the Empress card had a lot of greenery wrapped around the body, but the ivy may not be so good. But here the skull has these gorgeous flowers, right? wrapped around the head, and then the light of enlightenment is shining forth right there. I find it interesting because this flower reminds me of cuneiform, or echinacea, reminds me of the echinacea plant. And so we're looking at something that's protective and healing at the same time. So allow your thoughts to transform, transform whatever circumstance or situation you had last week that maybe you weren't making great decisions about, that this week that they're affording you an opportunity to make better decisions, right? So that gives you a chance to go back, sometimes even to fix certain things that you may have in being short-sighted, not allowed yourself to fully think out, getting wrapped up like this, right? Getting wrapped up, and it seems, those old thoughts or those negative thoughts can feel like they're choking you out, but yet here these thoughts are enlightened and they're healing, and so allow this enlightenment to happen. Allow it to be a support for your transformation. And so what overview do we have for this week going forward? So I'm going to say from Monday to Monday. Then we have the justice, which encompasses the heart. We have all of that there. And so, and you notice the valves are open there. The flowers are orange and yellow, so it's affecting our solar plexus and our intuition, our creativity. And so here, the overview is that if we learn how to let go of things that are choking us out, right? It could be friends. Maybe their ideas aren't your ideas, and it's crowding your thoughts so that it's difficult for you to listen to your own story and hear and breathe and speak your own story, right? Okay. This affords you to accept that you've had that experience, because I think that's a lot of times it's hard for us to acknowledge if what maybe we didn't make the best decision. That's really hard, thinking that we could have made a mistake, right? So, and that's why the hermit is really important, because it allows you to reflect on some things that have occurred in the last week that you have opportunity to redirect and create something better. And here you can see that, because now we're dealing with intuition and creativity, right? Literally creating something or turning it into something well. You don't have to stay with negativity. This card tends to be, if you lay in the bed, you got to make the bed, or you got to make the bed you lay in, right? So you got to deal with the consequences. Well, sometimes those consequences can be heavy and are hard, and we didn't even realize that would occur. And so the opportunity to review and to acquiesce to some of the different things that you've had to adjust last week, then don't be so hard on yourself, as the flowers and their softness indicates. Don't be so hard on yourself. We're having a life experience, and that life experience allows you to transform and grow from whatever you learned last week, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. So this is a great card, this justice card. Allow yourself to acknowledge what it is that you have, decisions you've made or not made, and then in turn create something that is worthy of being spoken of, worthy of your time to grow and think about. and put into fruition. So anyways, that is what I wanted to share for today. Blessings. Oh, and by the way, if you can do me a favor, please subscribe below and then go ahead and like the video. I know sometimes we get to watching the video, and it happens to me, and we forget to like it. So please go ahead and like it. And I look forward to seeing you connect again. And if you are able to, I'd love to hear what you're thinking. So please share your thoughts below. Blessings, and I'll see you tomorrow.